Alright, everybody, welcome. Today video is a kind of testing video, honestly. I'm just curious to understand possibly the differences with this early access 0.3 release of Assetto Corsa Evo with the original Assetto Corsa. I will try something, driving a few cars on the same circuit and just see the possible differences. Of course, I'm not a pro driver. I'm not somebody that knows everything about sim racing. Actually, I don't know that much. I think I'm just a user, a gamer that approach this game. You could find a lot of similarities. Of course, there are so many videos out there of pros that are giving all sort of comments and feelings about all the sims that are around. I'm not that good. I'm not that good at driving. Normally, when I drive on some race online, I'm usually three seconds and a half slower than the pros. I don't have a high-end rig. Um, I'm driving with the G29 unmodified, so I'm trying to do what I can, and I think I am probably representing a good 80-85% of people that tries to play these games. I mean, not everybody is a pro, not everybody has $2,000 setup, etc., etc. So this is what I'm thinking. So what I will do is I will be using a practice, just practice to see how the car responds on Suzuka, and then I will do the same comparison into Assetto Corsa Standard, the number one, and I will pick up a few cars that possibly exist also on the other sim, original, just stock. I'm not gonna touch any setup. I'll take them the way they are and the way that they are delivered in the game this way in the game of Assetto Corsa Evo and in Assetto Corsa Standard. So I noticed that I don't have the Abarth 695 Biposto in Assetto Corsa. There's another Abarth 500. I'm not sure if it's the same, so I'm not gonna try that one. But it seems that we do have the Sprint GTA, the Giulia Sprint GTA in the original Assetto Corsa. So we're gonna try this one. We'll do a couple of laps. These setups are just cosmetic, so that doesn't really change anything about the car itself. I'm gonna pick this one just because it's pretty. I could get this one just because it's red. I'll take this one. So confirm, confirm. Um, Pretty much, I'm not gonna set up the timing exactly the same. I mean, practice at 10:45 a.m. I will see if I can do the same on the other game as well. Scatter clouds, that is pretty much cosmetic, is not gonna change that much. So let's start it like this and let's see how it looks like. I will do probably 2-3 laps on each one. Now, of course, we're talking about a brand new game that graphically is stunning with an old game that I modded Assetto Corsa standard to have new graphic. So I have to say the graphic on that game when you mod it is pretty awesome. Okay, let's get in and let's see what we can. So, well, the audio on this car is excellent. Alright, the slide was not voluntary, but it is what's happening. What happens with this car anyway? It slides a lot. Alright, let's get used to this track a little bit. So what I feel right now is, of course, a lot of understeering and oversteering as soon as the weight moves in the curve. Well, as I said, I'm not a pro driver, so I'm trying to just move this thing around the truck, and I'm not gonna tell you how to drive these cars. Most of you probably drive better than me. I'm just gonna tell you how does it feel, and we will compare a little bit with the other one. I mean, the reaction, and considering once again, I have a G29, is not by any means one of the professional setup that give you all the force feedback that you can think about. At least on this setup, that cost about 300 bucks, I have a decent feeling on the car. On this specific car at least, the movements and how I lose the rear is instinctive. I can try to keep it, not with that much of success it looks like, but let's see what happened here. Alright, one more. This car has no traction control, no ABS, so you need to be kinda soft on the brake pedal, kinda soft on the accelerator, soft everywhere, because it will decide to change it and snap on you in a matter of a second. However, about the game, as you can see, audio is beautiful. The feeling on the force feedback, based on what I can feel with this setup, is decent. Helps me a lot to understand where the car is trying to go. I am revving every time that I downshift, because otherwise I'll die. This car cannot have a downshift without revving. Alright, I think these couple of laps are enough to understand that the grip on these tires is really limited. The reaction of the car, it reached immediately its limit between the understeer and the oversteer. A lot of understeer there, in fact. Alright. I didn't even put a lap. Let's see if I can do it right now. I don't want to bore you too much with this car, otherwise this video is gonna take forever. So let's see if I can do a clean lap. Something that I can compare the other way. Man, it's really understeery. It's also true that Suzuka is not exactly the most simple track, considering all the curves and how you have to administer these curves, but that's okay. I think is a nice platform to do some testing. That corner was dirty as it can be. Okay. I'm positive that if there's any pro that is watching this video by any means, they're gonna say, oh my god, look at this guy. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Not everybody's that good. I think at the end you just want to have fun. I'm trying to have fun with these games. Sometimes I try to have fun. I'm so bad and I just alt F4. I mean, I'm honest with you. I'm a gamer. I'm not a pro. There you go. It was almost a decent lap till when it wasn't. All right. Let's close it. Let's see what came out. All right. 256 on this one. Now we're moving on Assetto Corsa standard. And I will be right back with you. Alright, loading. Loading Assetto Corsa with the GTA 65. I tried to set up the truck almost in the same conditions of the other one. It will not be probably the same, but somewhere close. Not positive if it's the same car, absolutely the same car. The dashboard is obviously different, but somewhat similar. But hey, this is Assetto Corsa 1 with modded graphic. The sound is obviously less pristine. So we will discover the feeling basically on how the car grips, you know, and yes, we know that there's a lot of work on the tires and how they grip and how they react and the bending of the tires and all the good stuff. But a lot of the physics that is in ACEvo is definitely coming from this game. And this game, for some ways, is still absolutely top. The way that cars are reacting. So, as I said, I didn't touch anything. I didn't touch the setup, didn't touch the tires. I'm just using the car as it comes out of the box. But something that I'm noticing immediately is this one seems to grip in the front way more, way better. So I was expecting a reaction in understeering before any didn't came. So I found myself in a kind of an oversteer that I was not looking for. Even here, I don't remember, it was 256 with a failed lap in the other. So it really seems that the car is better planted. But you can feel how the weight moves anyway. You can definitely have that feeling. Alright, obviously I was off of the track there, but let's see. I can feel it so much more, how the tires in the front are reaching the limit and the understeer. It's incredible. I mean, how Assetto Corsa 1 was so absolutely well done when it comes to give you that feedback, even on a platform like mine that is potentially ridiculous. It's a 229. I mean, it's barely the entry level of people that try to drive. Everybody complains about the pedals, complains about everything. It's a very basic setup for $300 or more or less that give you the pleasure to enjoy a little bit of sim. And even with this setup, there you go, I exaggerated. I thought it was enough to set the second gear there. Okay, second gear. The car is really manageable. Alright, let's try fast lap. Alright, not the best corner, but at least was in. Let's see if I can keep the momentum here. Anyway, here in Assetto Corsa, the car seems friendlier, something that I can better feel, and there's more grip. There is more grip. I'm suffering way less the understeering, the excessive understeering that I have on this car in Evo. Also, doesn't seem to be that crazy snappy. I mean, yes, it has movement, but you seem to have a better understanding where the weights are and how the car is gonna react on you. You see, I can do this chicane, and on the other sim, I couldn't. I was always off on this chicane. I'm not saying it's the sim, I'm saying it's the drive, but for me as a driver, okay, what I did, 253. That was a 259, I think, but because I messed up the the chicane. Let's see if I can do a little bit better, and this will be the last lap with this car. Assetto Corsa, it's oh no. It is an old program, but when you put some touch on the graphic, it's not that horrible at all. It's not that bad at all. And it takes 10 minutes to do the graphic mode, and it's not that it's gonna take who knows how long. And you don't really have to be a rocket scientist. be the last lap, then we go back on Assetto Corsa Evo, and I guess we will try one of the new cars that has been added recently, which is the BMW M3, the old model, but it is definitely an interesting one. That has been added with the Mercedes 190, and we have both in Assetto Corsa, so we can try that. Alright, so 253, 253.3. Okay, that's what I can do on this one. Alright, I'll be right back on the other game. Alright, we are back. We are back in Assetto Corsa Evo, and as I said, we were going to try the new BMW that is the M3 E30 Sport Evo. And we do have the same also in Assetto Corsa original one, so we can do that kind of comparison. Of course, the graphic, all beautiful. Better sound, no doubt about that. Once again, exactly how it comes out of the box. Not tricky, no fixing of the setup. The car comes like this, good or bad, it doesn't really matter. The tires, looking at the instrument over there, seems like they are right. So they should be offering the decent grip that are supposed to be. They're green and they don't seem to be overinflated, so they should be okay. Okay. I didn't drive this car already. I mean, I guess I drove it just once and that was a horrible experience. So I don't know the limits of this car. But seems like, there you go. Yeah, still in. Long. Okay. Alright, the lesson is brake freaking earlier on that freaking chicane. Looks like I got at the chicane, it doesn't matter what car I'm driving, I cannot do it. Which is not true because I normally do it, so has to be, you know. Alright. That was an interesting way to take that curve. And it's definitely not the way you want to do it. A lot of understeer anyway. Yes, really me a lot of understeer. And again, I mean, the funny thing is to understand, is this understeering more or less on the original game? So with all the physics on these tires, etc., you would expect that, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, I would expect that tire grip would be better, but looks like I'm not gripping that much better. Or maybe this is just the way it's supposed to be. And maybe the fact that I grip better on the old Assetto Corsa, that is the way that is not supposed to be. Alright, this was a nice pass without downshifting. Okay, finally was able to make this trick. Ooh, keep it. Alright, so this could be most, I don't know, it's not a good lap, it's red, okay. Oh, 239.4. That was red because I screwed up something, on this turn I screwed up. Okay. Keep the momentum on this one. Okay, this could be a decent lap, and I mean the car is drivable. In that fast turn, I could feel how I was understeering. I was taking a very large approach. Then if I touch the brakes, of course the front grips immediately more and starts the rear spinning, which is great. Now you have to be good at control that. Under brake, the front is really good. Track limits, fun. Alright, track limits for something. But this was a nice lap, 38. Alright, I'll do the last one and then we move on the other game. The interior of the game is beautiful though. I mean the dashboard is so nice, and I only wonder how beautiful it has to be if you're using a VR, that you can walk around freely. Alright, so far a decent lap. Let's see if I can avoid to screw it up here. Good one. Again, this car has no traction control, just the ABS. Touch on brake a little bit to keep it in. Okay, this was better than before. Yes, this was definitely better than before. Alright, this one is a car that gives you a decent feeling while you're driving. Again, I think the grip is the mystery. If it's supposed to be... keep it in. If it's supposed to be this understeering, or it's supposed to be stickier, who knows? I mean, I never drive a car like this on a track, so I have no freaking clue how reality happened to be. Okay, that was a decent lap, 238.5. Let's go back and let's see how it's gonna happen on the other. Be right back. And we're back, loading the BMW M3 E30 on Suzuka. Pretty much same environment, and we will see how it goes. Alright, well, obviously graphic is not that major impact right away, but it's not bad. What is bad is the dashboard. How different, huh? How different. Okay, well, it is what it is, I guess. Alright, let's get it done. It is obviously an older game. Once again, not touchy, so on the settings, setup, it is what it is, coming out of the box. The force feedback feeling is so much stronger in this game, in Assetto Corsa, and I don't mean strong as a force. I mean strong as the effect. As soon as I lose track or lose grip on the front wheels, I can feel it clear. I know that is happening. The other is dull. So now I'm expecting the understeering that I was getting from Evo, and I'm kind of setting up my turns in a different way, and that understeering is not coming. So there is way much more grip. Is that the way that is supposed to be? The big question. I mean, anybody that have been driving cars a certain level, which I never did, should be answering the question. On that fast turn, where I was expecting to go large, because there was the understeering and in ACEvo Porsche ACEvo, there was almost no understeering here. I don't mean that I was on a track like a train, but look how nicer I am controlling this one. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm totally excited about ACEvo because it's finally a new product that they are releasing and they're working on. But this one to me seems just nicer to drive. The thing is, okay, there's still a massive community on ACEvo Porsche, but almost none of my friends is really playing this one anymore because they say, oh, the graphic is horrible, is dated, and it is what it is. And again, I mean, if you spend 10 minutes and you mod the graphic, you can even put rain in this game, which was not delivered on this game ever, but it exists. It is beautiful. I'm not gonna give you the test. That one is not the moment, but this is still a great game. How many years has went through? And how responsive is the car, and how responsive is the transfer of weight left and right, and how you feel it, even on a $300. Okay, my mistake here. You know, on a $300 setup like the G29. There was a massive understeer in this point in Evo, which was not there. Here also I am pretty much setting up the trajectory, and it requires corrections, yes, but let you understand what kind of correction you have to do, and is straightforward. The other one, the force feedback information is dull, so you don't know exactly what is happening till the moment it happens, and when possibly is a little bit too late or snaps on you. Alright, so once again, this is a 245. I don't remember how fast I was on the other one. Possible there was a 239 on the other one, and possible that there is that much of a difference. If it was a 239 on the other game and is a 245 on this one, I mean, I'm still the same guy with my same mistakes and errors. It's the car, it is what it is. So definitely this is gonna be a slower lap because I messed it up over there. In fact, I think I'm slower by 1 second, I think. honestly, okay, the graphic is probably not comparable even with the mod, but man, I guess I'm having more fun on this one than the other one. It seems just friendlier to me as a driver. Is giving me a little bit more information or make me feel more comfortable to take this car around. I mean, I couldn't do this on the other one. Most probably I could, but not that comfortable. All right, okay, 2:45. All right, that's it. But anyway, later I will check what was the time on the other game. I'm gonna stop here again and move on to find another car we can test. All right, we're back in Assetto Corsa Evo. Let's do something fun, right? Because so far we've been looking at cars that, man, these cars. Okay, we have a fresh new car that is absolutely interesting, which is the Porsche 718 Cayman GT4 Club Sport. Okay, and we do have that car in Assetto Corsa as well. So let's give a shot on this one. We're talking about finally, the fast car. We go fast. We go. Let's see. I didn't drive this one yet because I'm not a big Porsche fan. But is it obviously a wonderful car? So let's see how it goes, how it reacts. I have no clue. Let's get it done. Let's do a couple of laps just to understand how this thing moves. This one is set on traction control 2 out of the box with an ABS 8. Well, ABS 8, I think. Alright, for the sake of experiment, I just want to keep everything as is set up. I'm understanding how the car works. Honestly, I would not keep on ABS 8 at all. Probably I would put an ABS 2 or 3. Let's have a couple of laps the way it is, then eventually I'm going to move the ABS a little bit. Oh, large. Again, what is understeer on the fast corner. Tires seem to be okay. Didn't touch anything. Probably that can be done in full drive. precise. Seems very precise at the beginning, even too much. And I have to do a correction. We'll have another lap just to see. Okay, now with a better trajectory. I didn't do the right trajectory there. I was hoping that the rear of the car was rotating a little bit more, and it was not. Maybe it's the setup on the slip differential. Let's see if I can keep it in. No, definitely not. Definitely not. Or maybe it was the wrong trajectory, because I took a trajectory that was pushing me out the exit. I can try a different trajectory and see if I can do better there. Okay, now it was rotating on the brake. But it's not rotating on release, so this is probably something that can be adjusted with the slip differential, that when you release, triggers a rotation of the car a little bit more aggressive, because there was a lot of understeer there, and there's still a lot of understeer. It goes in rotation only if I touch the brake on the front, so it grips the front and moves the rear. But look how large was this. And how it's pushing out. Okay, this one was better. The thing is that I feel like I'm fighting the car constantly. I can do just one lap better than this. Definitely this piece is a bit better. Alright, that was good. Recovered almost 1 second there. Okay, touch on the brake. Move the rear. Okay. When I touch the brake, the rear moves. That's the rotation that you would be expecting. Alright, 1.5 seconds faster. 2:15.49. 2:15.5. Okay. Let's go to the other one. Alright, very well. Here we are in Assetto Corsa 1 Cayman GT4 Club Sport. I would say that is pretty much the same car. Maybe not, but I don't think it's gonna be that much different. Now this is the GT4. Well, we'll see. Once again, no touchy. Let's see if I can. Okay, we will use this display that is a little bit more sporty, a bit more intrusive, but give us more information about the lap and how things are going. Everything stock, no setup, no modification. I'm trying to understand right away how the reaction on the understeering is when compared to the other one. The entering on the corner seems way more aggressive on this one, even on the brakes. Ooh. Yeah, I was pushing the same cornering angle that I was using on the other car, and it was closing way more. There is no understeer here. I'm not fighting the car. There was a little bit of understeer there, yeah. Yeah, long. Okay. I have to brake earlier. I'm trying to understand this view. What are my settings? Let me try one thing. Traction control. So The traction control default is set on 1. And I'm not positive about the ABS. Oh, alright, we'll see. Okay. The other car, the traction control was set on 2, but it's also true that traction control in Assetto Corsa 1 was really weird. Like you set on 1, there's more traction control than if you set on 2. It was very unintuitive the way that the traction control was set. Like you say, you set traction control on 2, you expect that there is more traction control. Instead, no, there was less. And traction control on 1 was giving you more traction control. I guess I remember that was basically the opposite of what normally you would expect. Alright, we're gonna go for a fast lap here again. Brake a little bit earlier here. Oh, no way. Way earlier I have to brake. Yeah, that was understeer there. Okay, so anyway, something that I am noticing pretty well, and now this is consistent with the 3 cars that we tried in Assetto Corsa 1, the cars seem to be notably better gripping. You just have to be used to the kind of grip, of course, and how to handle and manage the grip, but it seems like they're there. I mean, the transfer weight is pretty clear, the way the force feedback transfer information even to a very simple platform like a G29, it is nice, clear, consistent. In Assetto Corsa ACEvo, everything seems a little bit muffled. The feeling of this massive understeering that is always there, present, and is not clearly communicated. You know that you're understeering because you see that the car is not going where it's supposed to go, and you hear a clear tires node that is telling you that the tires are... Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no good. So I was saying that the tires node that is telling you that the tires are not gripping, but you don't have a clear understanding of that understeer on the wheel. Or maybe if you do have phenomenal set, it's transferring that data clearly. But if I do an immediate comparison between the two products, the understeer and the force feedback that I receive in Assetto Corsa 1 seems crispier. That's everything I can say, crispier. Not saying that there's no understeer, sorry, that there's no force feedback in Evo. I'm saying that seem muffled. And I have a feeling that when I'm driving the cars in Evo, I'm constantly kind of fighting to keep the car where I want. And again, with no setup, with no particular things. In Assetto Corsa 1 seems more intuitive. I will do just another lap with this one to see where I can put it. So at the end of this video, if you've been that patient to be with me till the end, I really appreciate that. I was able to not bore you to death. You know, understanding which one of the two products is better at the end, I think, is really very much personal. Because everyone likes to drive in a different manner, I think, and everyone has maybe a different setup, more or less expensive, more or less responsive, and of course, man, it's a recent scene. Everything is more beautiful. The sound, the interior of the cars, attention to detail, so one zillion things in Evo have no comparison to what you get on Assetto Corsa. What I'm thinking is that for some reason they had the technology on Assetto Corsa 1 when it came out a long time ago and has been considered a massive sim for years and years, just because it reacts well, makes you feel well when you're driving. And they have not been able to give you the same good feeling, not even in Evo. I'm not even considering Assetto Corsa Competizione because that was different, just focusing on the GT3s and then all the others. But everybody was saying, there's something weird in that feedback. It is muffled, it's not crispy. It's there, but it's not there. You don't know exactly what to feel, etc., etc. Assetto Corsa 1 always had it. So why they are not able to translate in the new product that same really great technology that they had on this Assetto Corsa 1? I don't know. Definitely there would be a good reason. I don't understand it fully, but I'm not a professional like that, so. Alright, what I did here? 220. Okay. Well, I hope you appreciated the try to give you some information and compare two very good and strong sims. And the only thing I can say, you can get Assetto Corsa for pennies right now, and you can get mods that are free and make it a beautiful game and enjoy it. And you can get Evo as well, and maybe having them both can give you lots of fun. Thank you very much, guys, for being with me for this kind of long uh, video. I wish you a wonderful day. See you soon.